Hello and welcome to a Tuesday edition of the Jet Report. What is going on? I am Matt O'Leary hanging out with you. We're going to have some fun here today, as we always do. I always think it's fun on the Jet Report. We'll answer your questions. We're going to go through our topic of the day. I'm talking about Sauce Gardner versus Breece Hall for Rookie of the Week. Yes, there are two candidates right now for the New York Jets for Rookie of the Week, and you have a legitimate case for both of those guys. So we're going to go through and make that case for both Sauce Gardner and Breece Hall and kind of see who, we'd vote for here. And you could always send in your super chats. That's how you jump the line. You could also support the channel by becoming a member. You hit the little join button and you get some cool little emojis in the chat. But appreciate you guys hanging out with me. We're going to get into it. I have the numbers for Breece Hall that we're going to pull up. So let's start with Breece. We'll talk about Breece's game. Talk about Sauce Gardner's game, and then we'll answer your questions. So Breece Hall, how did he do? Well, pretty solid. In his fifth ever game in the NFL, he went for 18 carries, 97 yards, so 5.39 yards per attempt. Very good day. He also had a rushing touchdown, now has three touchdowns through three total touchdowns, two rushing, one receiving through 5 games in his NFL career. Again, extremely positive. He also had 2 receptions for 100 yards. So 197, essentially 200 all-purpose yards on the day, and almost had a receiving touchdowns. He was extremely close to having a receiving touchdown, was tackled inside the 1. Like, what a day for Breece. He makes the list. But Sauce Gardner is another one who was incredible. This past week against the Miami Dolphins, he had a interception. He had a sack that led to a safety. Well, not a sack, but an intentional. A quarterback hit. There you go. That led to a safety. So really, it's between those two guys, and it depends on what you value or who you value more. Whether it's the offensive production that you see from Breece Hall, or whether it's more of the defense and what we saw out of the defense and Sauce Gardner. And as good as Breece Hall was this past week, I think he was phenomenal for the New York Jets as they went on to win 40-17 in this game. To me, I think Sauce Gardner would get my vote for Rookie of the Week. He's got to get one. Obviously, the Jets fans show out for these kinds of things. They did it for Zach Wilson last year. They did it for Michael Carter, but Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall have had some success. And I really think that Sauce is deserving. You get a quarterback hit that turns into a safety. That's 2 points on the board, and an interception, which was it was huge for the Jets. And it's rare that you see a defensive player win this award. Usually it's very offensive heavy, and I think Breece will have more opportunities. And hell, maybe Sauce will even have more opportunities going forward in here as well. I loved what Sauce did. The combination of DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner through the first 5 games. Not a math guy. 5 games. Did some quick math in my head. Has been great. They've allowed 1 touchdown combined, like 200 and I did the math before. It was 237 yards. Hang on, let me check my notes from earlier today. I was doing some work on, both with DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner. 213 yards, 1 touchdown. That's elite stuff. That's elite. That's elite level stuff. That's exciting. So you have every reason to be excited about the New York Jets right now as they sit 3-2. Big game this upcoming week against the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are at home, and I heard a rumor that the Packers are going to be wearing their throwback jerseys from the 50s, which I guess is that like blue and yellow look, which I think is kind of gross. But that means the Jets will once again be in white. They'll be in those white jerseys. Do you wear the white pants or the black pants, though? That's the question. And I think you would wear, if it were up to me, I think you ride the black. As crazy as it was, I was saying like, hey, maybe you switch it up a little bit. And I didn't before this game say I don't love going with the black pants in back-to-back weeks, but they wanted it. Maybe Green Bean was right, and he's the one who tweeted at me. He said, make sure to keep it rolling. If you're superstitious, you might as well continue to keep that train rolling. I get it. Drew, we're gonna go into some of the comments and questions now. We'll talk about it. Lex is hanging out. He gives us the Jets emoji. Sauce is everyone's daddy. It's a good comment. Drew says, loving the live streams, Matt. So glad you're full-time Jets content now. Much appreciated. Yeah, we're just hanging. Yesterday, we went live at around 7 o'clock. We went a little bit later, but going to go back to the afternoon one. And hey, if you ever missed the show and you want to catch it in audio form, you could do that as well, as it will be available for the evening commute. Vote for Sauce. Jets Forever says, vote for Sauce. Seabass says, Breece. Gotta be. Melvin thinks they should split it. Can they do that? And he goes, they both balled out. They did. You really can't you can't go wrong either way with deciding who you want to vote for here, because I think both have been both were really good this past Sunday. It stinks because I feel like Jet fans, you might get a split vote and then maybe someone else wins it. Can we find out who else is on the ballot here? NFL of the week. Let's see who else is on the rookie of the week. Let's minimize, bring this up. You got Breece Hall, Billy Zappi, Damian Pierce, Sauce Gardner, Kenneth Walker, Derek Stingley. I'm gonna vote Sauce. Thank you for voting for Pepsi Sugar of the Week. Share it with your friends. I was hoping that it would give me like who is leading the vote, but I'm voting for Sauce. I think Breece is a fair choice, but is this even enough for Billy Zappi to get you? 17 to 21, 188. 188 yards. Damian Pierce, 99 yards and a rushing touchdown. Okay. Stingley, 7 tackles, a pick, 2 pass deflections. Nah, Sauce is the guy. Sorry. Melvin says Black Pants have been lucky. They have 2-0 in the Black Pants. Matt greater than Brady Quinn. He's I hate that he doubled down, by the way, on his take. We'll play that because I can't believe that Brady Quinn was like, you know what? I'm gonna double down on this one. I believe Leger Duzable tweeted it out. So I'm gonna pull that up. We'll play that on the show. I really can't. That's so annoying. This man just won't quit. I don't know why. He's like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna double down on the Zach hate for some reason. It's oof. It's a tough look. Leger tweets a lot. Sorry, not that that's a bad thing, but just trying to scroll back and find where we are. Man, this is harder than I thought. All right, let's do Brady Quinn. That'll probably be easier to find. Oh, yes, here we go. Found it. Okay. Let's roll. We're going to minimize this and we'll roll the tape.
Before I start, I just got to, my old teammate Brady over here, you know, it really hurts my heart that you didn't believe in my New York Jets. It really hurts my heart.
Are we celebrating the season after
it
5
hurts
games?
my heart that you didn't believe in my New York Jets.
You should have heard between the break. In the break, you should have heard. Yeah, these guys go back and forth.
But you know what? God did. He believed in us.
But no, talking about you're going to need God the next few weeks in that schedule.
We'll see. I mean, that's what they said in the beginning of the season. Yeah. But, right, this team is built the right way. Joe D wanted to build it from before I start. I just got to.
That wasn't the clip that I thought it was going to be. Man, he won't quit, though. Here we go. This is the one that I wanted.
Be Zach Wilson. I mean,
hold on.
You said they're going to go back to the drawing board.
No, I said if they're a 5-12, 6-11 football team,
they'll be a 5-12.
They'll be in striking distance of one of those top quarterbacks. Right. And in my opinion, Bryce Young is one of the best prospects I have seen in the past 2 decades. Yeah. He plays the position as well as anyone I've seen in a long, long time. If you're the New York Jets and you're sitting there with a chance to take one of those quarterbacks, whether it's Will Levis we talked about, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, who probably will win the Heisman this year, you have to contemplate that. You have to look at that because you're going to have a higher grade on those guys than you had on Zach Wilson coming out. I can promise you that based on the tape you're seeing from them and what Zach Wilson did as a prospect. My thing that I said was I wasn't as high on his coming out into the draft, and that doesn't change with the prospects we're going to have in next year's draft. Those guys are all studs.
They are.
They're good. They're good prospects. I don't know if I'd go with Will Levis, but I don't. He's doubling down on it, man. He has a take, and he's going to stick with it. Respect to him on that, I guess, but yikes. Don't love it. Brady mad because the Jets cut him for David Garrard. Yeah, that's another one. I did see that too. Chris Mortensen of October 21st, 2023, man. There it is. Jets have released Brady Quinn and activated David Garrard to the 53-man roster. Love that. Chris Haven. It's too early for the Jets fans to celebrate, but it's not too early for him to shit on Jet fans. Quinn can suck a big one, man. What a weird talking head. Yeah. It's been... Okay, let's talk through this. I actually agree with him. Okay, so this tells me one thing, is that you hated Zach Wilson pre-draft, and you want to be right. That's what this comment tells me, Mr. Magix. I actually agree with him. So the Jets should give up on Zach Wilson and draft the next quarterback, whether it be, he went through Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, whoever. Yeah, I okay. The disrespect to Zach Wilson is insane. Keep it coming. Yeah, I don't know how this is the take. I don't know how that, what has he done this year that has made you say, oh my God, that's horrendous? I thought he bounced back really nicely after he had 2 turnovers in the first game. One into the interceptions went off to Tyler Conklin's hands. The other one, Elijah Moore ran a bad route and also was a bad throw. You blame him on the first one, that's fine. But he's led 8 scoring drives in his last 5 quarters. It's going to be okay. That's not what he said. That's exactly what he said. He said that they would have him graded higher than Zach Wilson, and that they should take him if he's there, if they're in that spot. Very bizarre. One TD. Did Reed or Sauce give up the touchdown? I don't remember it. They have Sauce giving up one touchdown. Who was it against? Maybe the Browns. Oh, hang on. I'll pull that up for us here. I think they credited him in the Browns game with allowing a touchdown. Let's see his numbers. Yeah, it was the Browns game. They have him with 4 receptions, 33 yards, and a touchdown allowed in that Braves in the Browns game. Oh, I don't necessarily disagree. I don't necessarily disagree, but that's where that one comes from. He said if the Jets are 5-11. But he predicted that they were going to be 0-9 at the start of the year too. Let's not forget that. Nolan wants to know at this point how many wins makes this season a success. 8, 9 more. I think if they're at 7 or less, that's a little disappointing after a 3-2 start. I think you can find your way to 8, 9, maybe more than that. Up for debate, says Breece carried the day. He certainly did. 97 rushing yards and then 2 receptions for 100 yards. A score. He probably should have had 3 touchdowns in the game. Micah Carter vultured him a little bit, which I love Carter, but I wish Breece got in. Andres Medina says, I think he don't like the Jets. He wishes the Jets be at the bottom. He knows Zach is the man to win games for us. He's 2-0 so far this year. 8 to 9, 8-9 wins is safe AF. I hope so. I hope that would be safe. And I think that would be a massive step forward. I'm in. Melvin says AVT bona fide Pro Bowler. Yeah, he's going to be an all-pro at some point in his career. He playing 4 positions in 21 career games in the NFL is nuts. Indiana Jets chimes in. He says 8 to 10 wins is for sure a successful season and huge growth. Yeah, they would. That means 8 wins would be doubling your win total from last year. That's great. Brian says Breece is the king of getting tackled at the 1-yard line or having to reach into the end zone. Yeah, he's done that on literally, I think every one of his. No, maybe not. I'm sorry. I was thinking of the Zach run and dive from Sunday where he had to run in and dive for the touchdown. Edgar says 9-8 or 10-7 is my prediction. But if Zach breaks out 11-6, can you imagine an 11-6 season? The NFL world is not ready for the New York Jets and Zach Wilson to have that kind of success. I would be eating it up though. That would be tremendous if the Jets go like 11-6, and that which would be how many? That means that Zach Wilson would be 10-4 as a starter this year. Nice. That'd be great. Chris says 8 wins, and I want them to split with the Bills. Ooh, that's a tall task, but I want this young group to scare Bills Mafia. Yeah, that is a very, very tough ask. I would like them to be competitive in those games, even if they lose, but they play them tough. That'd be a nice sign for me. I want to look at their recent history because they usually played them tough, but there were some ugly ones. In the last couple of years, there were some ugly ones mixed in. I'll pull that up for you. I'm going to minimize your comment, Chris, but we're still going to be talking about it. Yeah, the 27-10 game was close most of the way. The 45-17 obviously one was not. 18-10 was close. 27-17 was not really that close. That was a game that probably should have been closer. 13-6. This one should have been a win. We all remember the 17-6. 17-16. That was the Kerry Vedvik game. Red John has a super chat. Let's go over to Red John. He says Brady Quinn can kick rocks. Him and Sam Darnold were can't miss prospects. What happened? How many of these college quarterbacks actually live up to the hype? It's hard. It's really hard. It's a crapshoot, and that's why I'm rooting so hard for Zach Wilson. Look, I would be the first one to admit that I thought Sam Darnold was the best rookie quarterback in the 2018 draft when he came out. I thought he would go number 1 overall. I wanted Baker Mayfield. I had my quarter. I'm trying to think back to 2018. I like a lot of people were very wrong about that quarterback class. I had Darnold, Mayfield, Rosen, Lamar, and Allen 5. And obviously Allen's been the best. Lamar's been right there. And the first 3 guys, Rosen's basically out of the league. Darnold is probably not going to get a starting chance again. And Baker is hanging on by a thread. Thoughts on Elijah Moore's lack of production? How much do you think he's bounced back, or is this a relatively new normal with other legit weapons added? I don't necessarily know if like new normal is fine. I believe it was Joe Caporoso of Badlands had it. Yeah, let's see with the projections. Yeah, here we go. We'll do the pacing stats right now. You had Hall with 935 rushing yards, 724 receiving yards, currently averaging 4.9 yards per carry. That's solid. Davis, 58 receptions, over 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns. Wilson, 78 receptions, 958 yards, 6 touchdowns. Moore, 54 receptions, 690 yards. Conklin, 71 and 652. If I had to guess, I think we will see Davis, his production come down slightly, as well as Conklin's come down slightly, and I think Moore's will go up a little bit. I would say he finishes above his number. Wilson finishes right around this receiving yard number, and Conklin and Davis are going to come under their current pace right now, if I had to guess. When does Rookie of the Week get announced? I don't know. I think like probably tomorrow or Thursday. I don't remember off the top of my head. Keep having these experts go against the Jets. Seems like they are using this as fuel. Jets are enjoying the us against the world motto. Yeah, if you saw after the game this week, John Franklin Myers said that they played the Tyreek Hill clip, and they talked about that Tyreek Hill clip when he was talking about Jetsu, and it bothered them. It rubbed them the wrong way. Sheldon Rankins talked about how great it was to see Quinnen Williams throw Tyreek Hill into the turf. Like, they take this stuff personally. They take it really personally. How could anyone have liked Rosen? I did not even have him on my draft board. That's a lie. And number 2, he was some people's quarterback 1 in that class. For most of the year, it was Darnold or Rosen who's going to be the better quarterback. That's what everyone in 2017, which is 5 years ago now. That's what it was. So I don't do the revisionist history. Yes, I will play. Melvin wants to see the Q stiff arm. He gets hyped every time. Look at that. Boom, right to the turf. Have that on a loop the rest of the year. Jets Forever is talking Jets drops. Garrett got like 8 drops. Elijah got 6. Corey 2. Conklin got like 8. That's what it feels like. I don't know if it's that high on each one. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but it feels like a lot. Ray, he's hanging out. He says, salute Matt and chat. Get the likes up. Yeah, if you're hanging around, please leave a like on the stream before you head out. We're going to hang out for probably another 10 minutes or so. Thank you to the 100 or so who's currently hanging out. Vibe Guy says Zerloin 100% since week 2. Meanwhile, Miami missed their last field goal attempt. Yeah. He's been good. Obviously struggled in week 1, but he settled in pretty nicely. And so has Braden Mann. Braden Mann the last 2 weeks has been really, really good. So I'll shut up about Braden Mann. Come on. Alan, Zach, and Patrick are the top 3 in no particular order. Hopefully we're talking about that next year or the year after, but let's not get too crazy. Quinn just hates anyone from BYU because he always played like crap against them at Notre Dame. Fair take. Who knows? Maybe that's the real reason why. Did Adams catch that? Oof. Tough one. I would be very frustrated if I was Adams. Now, to be fair, I wouldn't throw or push down a cameraman or a mic man, whoever that was. I'm going to try to pull up the video, but I think it's all going to be him pushing. Here. What about Devontae Adams' catch? Anything? No, I'm not seeing anything good on it. Oh, okay. Here we go. Actually, I lied. I did find a video. This, I would say, catch. I would say catch. Adam S. voted for Breece. That's fine. I get it. Breece Hall is good. Hawk said the dude filed a police report on Adams and went to the hospital after that. LOL. I would do the same exact thing. That it was completely unnecessary for Devontae Adams to push him down like that. I have no ill will against him for doing that. Raiders got robbed. Yeah, they also are just poorly coached. This is the second time they've blown a 17-point lead this year. And here we go. Adam McDaniels is the new Gase. I think Nathaniel Hackett's the new Gase, but apparently McDaniels isn't too far off. Adams did not catch it. He said Indiana Jets says he bobbled the ball and his left foot was off the ground. Okay. So some differing opinions in the chat today. Nicholas says Zach Milfson goes through teams like he goes through moms. So early and often, I suppose. This was just tweeted at me from Joe CVO, and I will pull this up because it got a genuine chuckle out of me. It says Jets versus Green Bay wide receivers. The cheese. Get it? Because the Packers and the cheese heads. Velveeta. Good stuff. A Jake Asman fan is in the chat. He says, how much better would Zach's numbers look if Breece would have got those touchdowns, 5 touchdowns to 2 interceptions? It would have made a big difference. He got tackled inside the 1. Twice. 3 times. A lot. It felt like a lot. He look, it's gonna be okay. I really am happy with what we saw from Zach Wilson this past week. We did a whole show on it yesterday, but I think he was very calm, cool, and collected in the chat. Sean wants to know, would you go after any of the Panthers players? I'd have to look and see, really go over that roster and see if there's anyone who sticks out. Like I see like a Robbie reunion. I'm not really looking to add at the wide receiver position. They would have to keep some money. Obviously, they'd have to keep money on Christian McCaffrey, but you're not trading for Christian McCaffrey. Who else could potentially be on the move there? Let's do Panthers. Let's pull this up and see if there's anyone that jumps out that you think you could potentially trade. Justin Burris? No, you're not trading for Justin Burris. Ike Ekwonu? Yeah, that seems really unlikely. I really don't think there's going to be anyone there. They have Elfline playing center? Good God. And Corbett's been good. I liked Corbett. I'm happy that obviously they got Laken Tomlinson, who I think will be fine, and AVT's at right guard, but Orson Corbett was someone that I really liked a lot, and he's played well this year. Brian Burns. Yeah, I mean, Brian Burns is good, but aren't we happy with our guys, Carl Lawson and Jermaine Johnson and Bryce Huff? Is Chin a good safety? Don't know enough about him, to be honest with you. Parlay Poppy wants a linebacker. Maybe Wilson. Damian Wilson. This is really the only. He's been pretty bad other than this year, so probably not him. Corey Littleton had a very good 2018 and 19 and then hasn't done anything since. I don't know if their linebacker core is all that great. Shaq Thompson. Maybe he's the guy you go for. Robbie would be wide receiver 3. You already have 3 good receivers. What are you doing with Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Braxton Berrios? What are you doing with all those guys? They don't need any more wide receivers. Chin is on IR. Frankie Louvu. Well, that would be fun, but they already have Corey Davis, and they're paying Corey Davis good money. Icky. Yeah, I don't think they're going to give up on Icky, but I do like Ekwonu. Indiana Jets says Brady Christensen. That's who he wants. All right. Prediction. Moore or Garrett Wilson will do a Lambeau leap after a touchdown. Oh, that would be nice. I'm trying to I'm going to say Garrett Wilson does it. I think he has a big day. When did they announce Rookie of the Week? Don't know. I think it'll be Thursday. Melvin says Jets 27-21 this week against the Green Bay Packers. Parlay Poppy says, I really think we could handle business in Green Bay. Conklin and Uzama breakout games. Conklin's had put up some really good numbers already. It'd be Uzama who has the breakout. He's played a little bit more, though, recently, which is, I guess, a good sign. Wilson will have a game and a half against Jair. That would be a great sign. If he's putting up good numbers against Jair Alexander, that would be fantastic. Let's be real. What is a realistic cover number for the Jets? I'm not sure what you're asking. What would be a point spread for the Jets to cover? They're 7-point underdogs this week, and I think they cover that number. I think they keep this game close. We have time for a couple more in here. Melvin wants Joe D to get a statue already. I'd like them to continue with more games first. And then Ryan Thompson says, Jets need a W. I am tired of seeing the doped out corpse of Rodgers being on the team, making them top 10. It would be nice to see the Jets pull an upset win in Lambeau. That would be phenomenal. I think we'll end it there for today. We are having Just Jets being recorded in about an hour or so, actually, and it will be live tomorrow morning. We'll get into previewing this game in the upcoming week the upcoming game, later in the week on probably Thursday, and a whole lot more on the channel. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm Matt O'Leary. We'll catch you next time.